Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and we are in worm bin. We are visiting worm bin number 1. Today is the 2nd of January, 2025. Oh, we got lots of worms. Okay. 2nd of January, 2025, and welcome to the new year. Happy New Year to all of you. If you are returning, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming with me into a new year. If you are new, thank you so much for joining. I hope that this is a fun adventure for you. So, Happy New Year. I hope it's a good one for all of us. Okay, this is worm bin 1. And this is kind of a series it's turned into. So on the 22nd of December, I did my time for pie videos. They got a whole bunch of vegetables and a piece of pumpkin pie. And then I did a 4-day check-in, a 7-day check-in, and now this is an 11-day check-in. So this is where I fed back on the 9th of December. And I said, when we did the 4-day check-in, when I fed on the 22nd, I discovered that there was still quite a bit of food over there. But I believed that it would be gone within a week. And I was right. However, the worms were still present here after a week. Presumably because there was still, while the actual physical food was gone, there was still, residue. And there's a lot of baby worms over here, so we're just going to we just want to peek over here and see if the worms are still heavily populating this area, and it would appear they are. And this is a big, healthy population. There's a lot of baby worms. Yeah, you see that, just one scoop after the next. And we've got worms over here. So not only did they like that feeding, but they're still, yeah, wow. There is a blue worm moving there. So that's a red wiggler. This is a mixed worm bin for those who don't know, so there should be European night crawlers, red wigglers, and Indian blue worms. The Indian blue worm populations will tend to die down in the cooler temperatures. It's about 56 degrees, thereabouts, down here. And I think that's like 8 or 9 degrees Celsius. So lots of worms. It's not warm over here anymore like it was before. So it's really muddy. I've not added any water, any moisture. I did throw some dry paper in here last time, and it stinks. But we see the worms are down there. Yeah, there's even actually sort of standing water moisture. Not any big amount, but just enough to pay attention to. I'm going to put a little bit of the stuff from up top. There is rotting garlic still over there. That's a longer term food item. But okay. So still lots of worms in the previous feeding. The feeding before the last feeding, before time for pie. And now time for pie, it's been 11 days, is over here. Oh my goodness, Elpy, not paying attention. It was over 60 degrees Fahrenheit, or 16 degrees Celsius. All right, so we had the pie and a whole bunch of peppers. There are worms over here. Where is the pie? Is it farther down? Yeah, so we got worms. So they are definitely, there's part of the pie. They are making their way over here, or they have made their way. And it is warm down there. Oh yeah. So that's how many worms are in this bin that we can have. Oh, and that's an eggplant, I believe. Yeah. We can have, you saw all the worms that were in the other corner. And yet, there's a ton of worms over here. So that's why I fed despite the fact that there was still so much food. I said, I'm still going to feed. I did that with all of them. But I believe that this bin is big enough and deep enough. There's enough material that with a large population, I think it's really only going to just benefit the population that there's so much. That's PETA down there. And worms. That there's so much material. There's enough for everyone to go around. Yeah, there's lots of worms. So there's enough food items for everyone to eat. So I paused because I was thinking maybe I'll add more dry paper. But I think I'm going to let this just play itself out as is. And then we'll see where things are at. This is 11 days. Well, so there's a fair bit of food left. I'm not feeding today because that wasn't part of the plan. But I think we will feed. Actually, maybe what I need to do is work a little bit more of. So we saw most of the pie appeared to be gone. Okay, no, not most of it. Oh, look, there's a whole bundle of worms. So what we'll do on day 14 or 15 since this feeding, we will add more food. There's not, I think that the worms, well, I think that the worms over there are happy over there because there's enough food over there, or there's enough residue on all the paper and whatnot for them to still eat and to be good, to eat and be merry. So I think they don't need to come over here. Everyone is content. So one part of me says, okay, well, that's, I don't know how much longer that's going to last. And then, you know, are they going to move over here? Should I go ahead and feed them, add a new feeding now so that they can continue their migration to a new food source? And again, now does not mean right now, right here. What it does mean is soon, before this breaks down. So probably on the 15 or 16 day mark, I'll add more food, because the other thing is that they've had so much food that I do need to be aware. You know, things are kind of settling down in the bin. It's not as full as it was, but I need to, there's only so much that I can continue to add material to this bin. So on the 15 or 16 day mark, we probably will come in with a smaller feeding. And yeah, go from there. We'll come in with a smaller feeding then, smaller than the last time, and then let that go another 2 weeks. But yeah, so that was it for mixed worm bin number 1 on the 2nd of January 2025. This feeding is well underway. There's still a lot of food left, but they're doing their thing. They're still munching on stuff in that corner, so we're gonna wait. I might give it another week. We'll see though. So this was 11 days since the last check-in. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. Now I'm gonna go check in on bin number 2. Be safe, be well, bye for now.